All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Let's go now, let's go.
And to give this time to the tailback. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now it's Breida. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
All right, here we go, here we go. Big 20. Set. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Set. 180.
They run for it with Breida. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Check. Patriot. Patriot.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Carl Lawson in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Going deep here for Parker. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now Benjamin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They run with Breda, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. Eric Ebron, 48 yards. And the Packers have taken the early lead. A long way to go in this one. I'm sure that's not the only score we'll see today, but to jump out like that, very good.
Yeah, everyone wants to set the pace. You know, in a game like this, you want people chasing you. You don't want to be the team chasing them. That's exactly what they did.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And this is their 3rd drive right now. Maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Darnold from the gun. Flushed out right. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Donnie Jones now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returning, it's Benjamin. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breda. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. On the crossing route, complete. It's Richardson. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Breida. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 23 yards on the play. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Here's Breida. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Matthew Stafford with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Dancing to his left. And got his man. Complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 56 yards. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Buying time to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Carl Lawson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. That is caught inside the 5. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw is Darnold. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Forbath able to convert the extra point. And that'll make our score 14-7. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Set! 180! Zebra! Give me radar. Ready!
On 1st down, Stafford here. Finding room at the 30. It's caught left side by John Brown. And all the way up to the 35-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set! 180! And middle!
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw, Stafford. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
On the ball! Zebra! Set! 280! Hey, 22! 21! Hey!
From the gun, here's Stafford. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the Return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
A first down throw, Darnold, flush to his right, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Check, Patriot! Patriot! Gone! 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 Over! Detroit! Detroit!
Second down and 10, Darnold. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Darnold escaping the pressure right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
No. Check, Patriot! Patriot!
On first down, Darnold from left side, caught by Goodwin. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Darnold to throw again. That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Randall Cobb in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Now Forbath for the extra point. Forbath, the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now the Packers get set to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. The final shot before the break, Stanford. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Here's Darnold now on second down. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The pitch goes to Barkley. Finding some room at midfield. And down right around the 37. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, I'm just one big carry.
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Barkley. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run again with Breida. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the 50 at Stanford. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And here now come the Falcons. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 57 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Now let's go.
Here's a give to Barkley. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Gone! Detroit!
Now Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. And his pass incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Lucky 56. Gone!
Darnold now to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go.
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Zero. Set. Blue 60.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, 22! Set, ladies! Hey, red! Hey!
Stafford on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Darren Lee. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Back 58 here, back 58. Back 53.
Third and long. It's Stafford. Over the middle here to Brown. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Gone!
Play action. It's Darnold. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit!
And the blitz does come. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing again is Darnold. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Carl Lawson getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Steps away to his left. Open man is Uzomah. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. And even 40 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A toss out to Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Forbath will put this one through. And we are all all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the side. And this is going to be intercepted. Darren Lee picks it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Flushed out right. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Falcons. Marquise Goodwin, 40 yards. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop it.
Oh, man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A gain of 39 that time. Back to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now. Have the momentum. Go ahead and get it done.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. And an overtime playoff game, but the rules, they stay the same as they did in the regular season.
That's exactly right. Whoever scores first, unless it's a touchdown, the other team has a chance to match. That's how it really gets played out. But remember this, no matter how far we go in overtime, in the regular season, there was only one period. Here, we're going to go until we have a winner.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hey, 22!
First throw in overtime for Stanford. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Stafford now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. This is Breida. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And an alley to run. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
11. Set. Waiting. 22.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath. And boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. 3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Decision time now on 4th and about 1.5 yards.
I can still hear my high school coach, John Ford, right now. I want my #1 play with my #1 runner over my #1 blocker. Get me the first down. But some may very well say, punt this thing away, pin them down deep, and play field position.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. And able to find John Brown. And past the 35, he'll be dropped 1 yard or 2 shy of the 30. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And a costly, costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold, his first throw in overtime. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there?
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Past the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there in overtime. 43 yards on the ground. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So we'll take a break with them and be right back. They'll try to run with Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Big 20, big 20.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
In any yardage of game, there's really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say: get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
The Packers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. This would put them in the NFC title game. And he got it. The kick is good. He splits the uprights. And in doing so, he sends them to the NFC title game. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship. And now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been 1 game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.